Alright, back again, Luke here. And as you can see in front of you, we have another arcade PCB. This one is a Sega Dynamite Cop, and it just arrived here. This has definitely seen much better days. I've noticed right off the bat here that the connector on the side here is snapped off, but it looks like the pins are still in okay condition. The board has definitely seen much cleaner days, that's for sure. Lots of dirt around it, but overall, seems decent condition. This board is currently working, but with graphic issues. So we're gonna go ahead and take this thing apart and see what we can do. Yeah, overall, things look they look okay. I mean, I kind of expected a little bit worse, but seems to be all right for right now. And we'll go ahead and power this up and see what happens. I have not touched this at all, I just got it in here. So let's connect this thing up and see what we get. Let's see, plug in our connector here. It's really weak because of that broken side, so hopefully this will work out okay. Wow, that's a connector does not want to go in very smoothly. These old boards have a very funky smell to them, that's for sure. Oh, geez, let's see. This wiring harness not the best, but hopefully will work nonetheless. Let's see. Let's just hope this thing doesn't smoke, catch fire. I don't know. Alright, let's go ahead and fire this guy up, see what we get. Like I said, first time here. What you see is what I'll see. Which is nothing. No lights, nothing at all. I don't know. Looks like I'm gonna have to try this again here. Let's see. Let's try it again. See if we get something else. Oh, there's some lights. And nothing but waves. Oh wait, well, it looks like it's trying to do something. Let's see. Can I adjust the sync? Nope, I can't see anything here. I don't know if that's running or not. Maybe it's running in 24? Hard to tell here. Well, I guess it doesn't seem like it's really doing much. No coin in sound. Yeah. Looks like the lights are kind of going a little bit crazy, but nothing's really coming up here. And it's just constantly resetting. I mean, it seems like it's doing something, but I can't get any video image off of this. Any clear image going on here. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to take a little bit of a further look at this and see what's going on, but it's not doing much of anything. Like I said, there's no sound, there's no coin in sound, nothing. just a lot of rolling static. So, alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of a deeper look into this thing and see what happens, but that's where we're at right now. I'll catch you guys in a bit. Alright guys, so what I did is I pulled out my Dell PC monitor, which runs at 24 kilohertz, and now we're starting to get a picture. But there are definitely some graphic errors and issues going on here. Oh, go ahead and let this thing kind of start up. You can see this is just ridiculous. Lots of graphic interference here. No picture whatsoever on screen. Let's see here. Ooh, if I touch... Wow, that's, yeah. If I try to touch the different chips here on the board, it either gets better or it gets worse. But yeah, this is definitely some bad stuff going on here. Let's see. Looks like a light show. And not really making it any better. Oh, that's kinda... Well, there we go. This is kinda making it better. This is that big BGA custom down here on the end. And by pressing down on that, I'm starting to get a little bit more graphics here. I'm guessing that BGA, yep, when I release I'm guessing that this thing is separated from the board. So this is not going to be fun. This is some very fine pitch chip here, but when I release it, yeah, that seems to be what's causing it. All right, guys. Well, at least the picture came back a little bit. Yeah, that looks like it's probably going to be the problem here. So once again, this is not going to be fun. If you guys can see the pitch on that, that is very, very fine pitch. So I'm going to go around that entire BGA and hope that we can get this board working again. So as you can see here, I've removed the ROM board and figured we could get a little bit of a closer look at this BGA. And yeah, you can see right here, these pins, this whole row of pins, are all lifted off the board on this side. And let's see, how does it look on the other side? Yep, and from here downward, all the way down to about here, these pins are all lifted. You can see if I probably push on it, you can see how it's moving there. Maybe the last one will be a little easier to see. Yeah, all these guys here are all lifted off the board, so that's going to be our problem. What I'm going to do is go ahead and try to reflow each one of these. Some people like to use hot air. For me personally, I'm just going to go over each one of these one by one. As you can see, there's a very distinct line here where it's cracked away from the board, and then it kind of goes flat and flush. So that whole line there, we're going to go and reflow. Alright, so I know a lot of you guys want to see the soldering process or the repair process. In most cases, it's really difficult to get a very clear shot unless you're using an overhead camera, and unfortunately that's not what I have here. So I'm just going to try and do the best I can, show you guys a little bit of what's going on here. Like I mentioned, I'm not going to use any heat on this. I'm just going to use some flux. I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver and a whole lot of patience here to try to push these back down one by one. You know, everybody's going to have their own way of doing things, and you know, some people say don't do this, don't do that, but really ultimately it just comes down to what works best for you. So for me, these you know, small leg repairs here, they aren't fun by any means, and you know, you wind up either like bridging something, which I just did here, or yeah, just totally destroying things. So it does take quite a lot of patience get off there. I mean, even when you do use like a reflow station, you do have the potential of having these bridging things happen. Some people will say it's really easy to remove, others will say, you know, it's tricky. And to be honest, it is very tricky to, you know, to do this without damaging something else. So, like I said, this is a really rough angle here, so I don't know how much better I can get this. See if I can maybe angle it over here, but then I got to worry about this thing maybe flaring up. Let's see, that might work. Maybe I get a piece of tape to put here just so you guys can see a little bit more, so the camera stand doesn't topple over. Okay, that should make it a little bit better. As for the focus, however, that may be a totally different story. Doesn't look like this thing wants to focus. A little bit out of focus here, I suppose, but so this is the area that we're working on. I'm gonna try and do this a little bit like so. Very carefully, just one by one. So putting these pins back down here. And a couple of these are kind of a little bit bent over, so as you can see, I don't know if you guys will be able to see, it's just a little bit of work here, but come on, focus. Focus, 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 focus. Come on. Doesn't want to focus so well. There we go. I guess I'll zoom out. You guys can see here, you know, this is me trying to do this through the camera, so it's a little bit tricky. You can see some of these pins are a bit off, so what I'm going to have to do is get an X-Acto knife and try and get right in there to line these pins back up. So far I've only done these 3 here, so we're going to have to line these up before we go and do the rest of them. So I'm going to do that off camera just because it's a little bit tricky to do here on camera, and we'll see how things go. Hopefully they'll go quite smoothly and we won't have any problems, but you never know. Alright, so as you can see here, what I've done is I've gone back over those last pins, this last row here, and put those back down. They were popped up. These ones seem to be okay, so for right now I'm just gonna let that go, because going around each one of these pins is going to be really, really difficult on this custom chip. I believe maybe I called this a BGA before, but it's just a huge custom on this board. So next we're going to go ahead and try and do this side here, and then once we do that we'll plug it back in and see how it works, but it should be, fingers crossed, an improvement over the last time. Okay, so just one more time here before we start, just to give you guys a little bit of a look here. You can see these are the ones that are popped up here. There's a very distinct line that's going across there, and those are the ones that we're going to put back down. So I don't think we can get any closer. Oh, maybe we can. That's about as close as we can get here. But you can definitely see that those are not down. Let me see if I can find a pin here, and I'll show you what I mean. It's going to be hard to do through the camera, but these pins should, and that's when the camera starts flaring. You can see they're moving. Right there. Can you see the pin move? Like right there. So we're going to go over all of those, probably up into until this point here, I suppose, and then we'll we'll give it a shot. I've gone along that corner on both sides and put those pins right back down where they should be. I haven't had a chance to try this yet, so I figured we'll go ahead and do this together. See what happens. So let's pop this on and check some of that. Hope for the best. Well, that was doing that before. It looks clear. Oh, it looks like we're almost there. Oh, you guys can see it's starting. I think I'm gonna have to go over, maybe I'm gonna have to go over the entire custom. I wonder if I try and push somewhere else, does it change? Kinda does, actually. Well, not really. Looks like we still have some, let's see, could this be another custom that has some issues then? That's so hard to tell. Jeez. Yeah, this may be another one here. You can definitely see there's still some glitching going on. Pushing along on these other pins doesn't seem to affect it very much. But definitely the color setup is quite strange. Well, it is better. It's just a little bit strange as far as like the RGB goes. There's no change here. Pushing down on the board. It doesn't seem to be affecting that too much. Oh, there we go. Oh, maybe the board just wasn't seated. I pressed down on it just a little bit more, and that looks a ton better. It looks like it's still super bright though. Maybe I'll have to adjust the... Yeah, that looks a million times better. Okay, let's see, what can we do? Maybe we can turn on the blue. Let's see if I can do this one-handed here. There's blue. About red. Oh, well, the RGB doesn't seem to be working on this super gun here. But it might be because it's going through the PC monitor, and the PC monitor resolution is probably too high. But it looks like at least it's working. As far as sound goes, I don't know. I don't really hear anything. It could be on demo mode. Well, there are coins in it. Start doesn't seem to be... Oh, it does. Well, it's starting up here. But yeah, it seems maybe there still is a bit of some trouble here. I'm not sure. I really can't tell. But nonetheless, it's at least much better than it was before. Okay, so what I did is I decided to do a ROM check here and CPU board. As you can see, the CPU board seems to be pretty good. It just finished right now. But you'll notice up here, as far as the ROM board goes, it's IC 9, 10, 7, and 8 are all bad. And those apparently seem to correspond to these ones here. So there is IC 8, and what was it? 8, oh sorry, 9, 10, 7, and 8. Yeah, so these ones here, we've got 7, 8, and then there's 9 and 10 right there. They're all next to each other, so that may be bad contacts. They do look quite dirty here, so maybe I'll try and clean that up. It also could be that they're still not making contact with the bottom custom chip there. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove those, try and clean them up and see if it changes anything. Alright, so first thing I noticed after lifting up IC8 is you can see that there's a scratch through this board under the socket. There is a trace under there. I don't know if it's hit that or not, so what I'm going to do is clip this out here and maybe we'll get a better look at it. I mean, obviously removing the socket may be the best move, but we're just going to do this here and take a look at it. You can see there's a few scratch traces. Whether they're severed or not, that's going to be a different story. So I'm going to try and scratch away some of that solder mask and then tin it up. Alright, so I just tried to tin these up and see if that made any difference here. We'll try and see if we've got continuity. That one's okay. That one seems okay too. So I think those two are alright. They did have a bit of a dip in the middle there, but after putting on some fresh solder, they seem okay. So we're going to go and check the other ones. Maybe there's another gouge in one of these other ones. After flipping the board over too, I noticed a few scratches over here. I'm going to have to take a look at them. One of them looks like it may be cut across, but those may be another reason why this thing is coming up bad. They are connected to the same top board here, so I'm going to go over that and see if I can fix those up just a little bit, and then we'll go from there. So I checked the traces, and although they seem to have decent continuity, there were a couple of them that were scratched, and it looked like they were pretty close to almost not making contact, so I just went and tinned those up just a little bit. So the next thing we're going to do is try and flip the board over once again, see if it'll do that ROM-RAM check and be successful with that. Alright, so we did another ROM-RAM check, and this time everything is coming up good. The problem is, now we've got graphic glitches. So I think it's going to come down to this custom again. I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and go around both sides here. Maybe have to go around the whole entire chip, but let's back out of this. There is some sound now. I wired in the sound, but unfortunately it does need an amplifier, so it's not really putting out very loud sound. Go ahead and let you guys see that the title is there, but it's glitched. Yay! So I'm going to go back over that chip, and probably after removing this again, I'm going to wind up getting another error. I can just see it happening. But yeah, it's getting there slowly, but you can see all the graphics. You can kind of hear the sound. Just barely. So I'm going to go back over that chip, and I know that this brightness here, this is definitely going to be something because of the PC monitor. I know if I plug it into a CGA to VGA converter, I can turn down that brightness, and unfortunately in this monitor here, there aren't any settings that I can do. Just, I mean, I can change the RGB, but I can't really change the everything, yeah, that I need to change. So, but nonetheless here, I'll go ahead and I don't think, maybe I could turn down the, well, maybe I can. Okay, I can probably do it just manually here. Turn this down. That might work. Maybe I know these aren't the exact values here, but I don't know, it's going to be tricky to try and do this on camera here. And it doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to get it perfect. Maybe I just dropped the brightness down. I've dropped it down a little bit, but probably not too much to make a difference here. I've gone back over that chip and we are back in action. So what we're going to do here is try ever so carefully maybe to see if this thing plays. I know some people have asked, like, oh, Luke, do you have a tripod? And the answer is yes, but trying to find a good place to put it is another story here. Especially since I'm going to be doing something really kind of stupid, and that is placing the camera on top of the PCB just to test it. Let's see if this works here. Let's try a coin. You can kind of hear it. Like I said, this is going to definitely need a think there's any way to zoom out either. Maybe I can back it up just a little bit. This is, you can see that it's really bright right now, so it's going to need a CGA to VGA converter. I know that a lot of the rooms in this place are all white, so I think that's what's causing it to really get so bright. But just to test it, let's give it a shot. Press the old start button. Left, right. Okay, we can choose a character. Let's choose far right guy. But it does appear that the graphics are okay. We'll just try mission 1. And you're not going to be able to see everything, unfortunately, just because I do have the tripod set up here. Maybe I can do one more thing. See if I can move it back just a bit more. Now we're really tempting fate here. Just to see if this will work. Yeah, it seems to be working well. Once again, you know, I'm going to have to try and figure out a better way for the video here, because the video display, because this just doesn't work out very well. And it's going to need some amplified speakers for sure. But if you guys can look past that and just see that the board itself is actually running again, that's the key here. The colors just look so bright. There's the old Sega Astro City next to a piano. That's awesome. This is one game that I did not own. I mean, I do have Dynamite Deca for the not PlayStation, for the Sega Saturn, but this is a board that I thought would be kind of neat to own, and luckily it seems to be working okay. Well, just the user error here. But it's got some pretty neat enemies. Hopefully I can do a proper playthrough on this at some point once I get this thing working how it should. And knowing the controls too here, but it is alive! Success! Woo! But yeah, guys, just want to share another repair here with you on this Dynamite Cop PCB. This is one that is a bit tricky, and I think that the board still, maybe in certain areas, if it's flexed too much, will probably have the graphics glitch out. It just doesn't seem like a very firm board here. It seems a little bit like easy to distort, especially since the bottom pegs on the board here probably weren't so secured, didn't have so many stabilizing points. Probably over time it just eventually started to crack its way from the different components. So, but yeah, that's a wrap, I suppose. We'll go ahead and get, once I get my converter out, I'll try and make a proper video on this. But another board here, saved from the grave. And that's about all for me for right now. Like always, I'll put up another video here soon, so thanks for watching. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Game over. Haha. It's good to have this thing working. Just one more thing I'd like to add about the board here. I wound up putting a couple of fans on here, as you can hear, just to cool it down because it does get quite warm. But I've run this through my CGA to VGA converter, and as you can see here, the screen and the color and everything are pretty much back to normal. There is a little bit of, down at the bottom, just a little bit of distortion, and this is caused by the converter. But as you can see, the picture is back to normal. Looks really good. Still maybe a little bit of brightness, but not too bad at all. At least you can see the characters much more vividly, and the colors are correct. It's a massive arm there for hostage, but anyway, as you can see, it's working quite nicely. And here's most of the colors that we couldn't see before just because the red, green, and blue were all off. But it is definitely playable as of right now. And if we put in a couple coins here, oh, there's already a million coins in. I guess we don't have to do that. We can just hit start, and now our characters have a bit more life. So there we go, guys. Another board here, pretty much ready to go. I still need to wire up the sound to make that, or get an amplifier here so I can wire in some speakers and hear the sound a little bit better because it's way too quiet. But other than that, it is working. So it's again just a little bit of a add-on here to the original video, just to show you guys what the final setup looks like. Now, maybe at some point in time I'll make a video on this and show you guys what it looks like, but so far looking much better. That was a Blast City. Wow. Jeez. I think I said it was an Arrow City before. That's cool. Blast City is a little bit too square there in that picture. I think Sega could have made it just a little bit better. Come on, Turtle Man. This is like one of those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle clones. The one that didn't make the cut. Some professional wrestling moves going in there. Is that some Dance Dance Revolution or something? It's just monitors. Success! Yoo-hoo! So yeah, once again, you can see the big difference here with the colors compared to before. Before it was like a little bit of a psychedelic show. Now it's got some correct coloring in it. Oh, right to the face. That's gotta hurt. Well, am I get sprayed by a water gun? Oh no, I died. Okay, but that's where we'll leave it. As you can see, once again, it looks much better, and this board is officially up and running, and very happy to have this kind of history here preserved and saved for a little bit longer. So thanks again for watching, guys.